then
Okay.
I'll say everything else.
Yes.
So anyways, welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you
Happy
here.
to be here.
Let's just start by introducing yourself and like your career. What do you do?
Yeah. So my name is Lauren. I don't really know which camera to look at, but I'll just look at you.
Yeah, you.
So I'm Lauren, and my career right now is like just getting started. So I kind of feel like imposter syndrome every day, but I am opening up my own Pilates studio. It's going to be called Los Angeles Sculpt. I made more mistakes than not, so it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but I'm super passionate about it. I've been teaching since I graduated college. I've been doing that like on the side, even when I had my full-time pharmaceutical job. And then when I got laid off from that, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was taught full-time. And then after a lot of time and prayer and like confusion, I was like, okay, I do want to do my own Pilates studio. And I also love creating. So that's why I really do want to expand more on like Instagram and TikTok and make that kind of like a lifestyle and fitness thing and combine the two. But I'm just getting started with both. So I have less than 10,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram and not a physical studio space. So right now I'm just like a delusional person trying to start something.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think we met at the Playboy casting, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, which was, I was thinking about that. It's almost been a year now, right?
Yeah, I think I'm like September, October.
Yeah, so
I met
between
so many
half
cool
a year.
people though.
That was
awesome.
a crazy day.
It was amazing. It was long. It was like 9
so
hours.
long. Yeah, did you get there like early?
No, I got there right when it started.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, it'll be like me and 50 other girls. There was like so many of us.
Yeah.
I met like so many great people.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So it was worth it.
So true. I remember at one point I like turned to one of the girls I was by and I was like, I feel like we're going through war. Because like they wouldn't let us get food.
Yes,
and they had no food.
No water, no food.
Yeah, we're just like, they're like drained and it's like there's 12 hours not eating. And like,
I know. And then maybe they kept you after as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so then we were there for like
we were the last ones to leave. Like the people interviewing left. Yeah.
Yeah, I was grateful, obviously so grateful, but yeah,
definitely.
It was really long, so I was underprepared. Next time I'll be better.
Yeah. Had you had any experience with Playboy before then, or was that your first? Okay.
So what happened was I've been like really trying to get into bikini modeling, and I did San Diego some week last year, and there was a girl there, and she was like, I've worked with Playboy in the past. They've been so amazing. They've opened so many doors. You should go to the open casting call. And I was like, okay, like I don't really know. And then I wasn't doing anything that day. So I went, and even though I'm not working with Playboy, I still like met so many people, and I feel like I learned so much. Hello, baby.
little guest coming in. She always likes to make her little appearance. Don't spill my coffee.
Oh my God.
Just has to pop in every once in a while. And I can't help it. Like I'm always like, I know.
This is more fun. It's all good.
She's just no.
You see
she's
a bigger
just a
couch
presence in like all of my social media, and I'm like, well, it wouldn't be authentic.
No.
But yeah, I remember like talking to you after.
Yes.
And it's funny because I had just started my podcast then. And I remember thinking like, oh, I love her personality. I would love to bring her on.
Love this.
But I was like, I'm going to give her some more time to like build her career a little bit more.
I feel like I just made so many like mistakes that I feel like I haven't really built. I mean, I think I've grown a lot, like I've learned a lot,
for sure.
But I still feel like I'm in such a similar place, which is like annoying me, but it's also driving me more. Like I think this month and next month, I'm really gonna like lock in and hopefully by August be in like a better place. I don't know. I think it's just taking longer than I thought. So
it's a process. I think that's how it happens for everybody. You know, and I've kind of stayed away from bringing on younger girls and have had mostly like established, you know, girls who have been in the industry for a while. But
I'm actually not even that young. I'm 26. So I'm like, I should.
No, you're still young. I mean, I feel like under 30, you're still kind of figuring it out.
Okay,
and like
4 years then. Good. Or a little less than 4 now, I guess. But,
you know, if it makes you feel better, I didn't feel like I really like had it figured out. I wasn't really established till maybe 28.
Okay, good. So 2 more years.
Yeah, but then like my personal life was still a mess. Like I finally got the career in place, but like different things like getting my finances, like I was making money, but I was spending money.
Yeah.
Or like my love life. And I was
my
like,
love life's like non-existent right now. It's everyone always asks about dating. I did this, I did one like real legit modeling campaign for Jupiter, and I was so happy. It was also in October. And they were like, you know, we do like a before and after, and then we like got the filler And then at the after, they were like, oh, like, did you update your dating profile pictures? Like, what's dating been like? And I'm like, I'm not dating. I'm trying to like figure it out. Like, I'm in my boring era. Like, I have nothing. So
It's good
it's just me.
though. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
so. I don't know if I probably didn't mention this to you out of casting, but I got married when I was super young, and so I got divorced when I was super young. So I'm a big believer that spending your 20s single, like, great decision.
It's fun. I'm learning like what I want
Exactly.
and who I am. So,
Yeah, you need time to kind of figure it out, make the mistakes, like,
yes.
because once you want to, when you get married, you want it to be for life, and when you get married young, you don't know yourself enough to like
so true.
really work with somebody else,
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I need to like, put my own like life vest on and figure it out.
It takes time. So you're in a good spot.
Okay, good.
It feels crazy, but 27 was my big turning point.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm like
you
9
have
months
time.
away from that. So,
girl, if you met me when I was 26, you'd be like, oh my God, this girl's crazy.
No, that's how I just feel like I'm scattered, but I'm really trying to like lock in and be productive and like get it together. But it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't.
So,
it takes time. So what like has inspired you to have your own studio? What was like your inspiration for that?
Yeah. So I grew up with like a little bit of a dance background, so I always loved that. And then I never thought I could do it like past high school because I just thought it would be like too competitive. And so I was like, okay, like what do I do? So I got really into like fitness and taking bar classes. And then at college there was a Pure Barre like right next to my school. So I'd take class there all the time. And then they told me that I could work there. So I started working there. I was running their social media for a little bit. And then when I graduated, I didn't have like a full-time job lined up. So then I became like a certified instructor, and I did that. Even after I got my full-time job, I still just like taught on the side, and I really fell in love with that. And I hated my full-time job, so it was like almost an escape for me. And I loved connecting with the clients. I loved doing something active. I loved that bar was a little bit ballet inspired. And then when I got let go from my full-time job, my friend who I taught bar with was also like at a Pilates studio, and they were saying they needed more instructors, so I got hired on there and was just doing bar Pilates full time. And I, kept applying for these pharmaceutical sales jobs because that's what I was doing. And I got some offers, but they just felt like not the direction that I wanted to go in. And then a lot of them told me no. And so I was like, okay, like this clearly is just like me trying to fit a square into a circle. Like it's not working out and I don't want to do it. And then I was like, well, can I actually do Pilates full time and like make money? And then I was like, well, maybe like, doing it like making my TikTok and Instagram like a fitness thing, and I wanted to grow that community anyway. And then as well as opening up my own studio, I was like, maybe that's the way to go. Thought about it a lot, prayed about it a lot, and then that's kind of, I just felt so compelled to do it. But I think like I was so lost for so long that like once I finally got set on that, I was like, oh, it's all gonna fall into place. And it definitely hasn't. Like I've made mistakes, and like the branding and the web design is taking way longer than I thought it would. But I keep repeating myself. I'm like, it's taking so long, but it is. But I mean, I love like having those like community Pilates events. I love teaching class. I love creating that community. I love helping people like meet their personal fitness goals. And a lot of people, even in the classes I was teaching at the studio in San Diego, that wasn't mine. They were like, you've impacted my life so much. Like you've helped me lose weight for my wedding or for whatever thing that they had coming up. And so I really like being a part of people's lives in that positive way. So I know it's what I want to do. I know like good things don't come easy. So just trying to keep pushing forward. But
yeah. And I remember too, when I met you, were wanting to get more into the bikini modeling, and you just went with Maxim to Vegas, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You're like a big reason why I reached out to them in the first
place. Oh my God. So, thank you. I'm glad to hear.
So many times I was like, how did you work with them? So yeah, I'm super happy.
Glad.
No,
amazing.
So nice, so amazing.
Good.
I wouldn't have found them if it wasn't through Playboy and meeting you. So because I would have probably reached out. Seeing how well you worked with them, I was like, okay, well, I want to work with them too. And I've only done 2 events with them, and I found their like casting, or not kind of casting is the right word, but I saw on one of the people who works there Instagram story, they were like, oh, we're doing Miami Swim Week, and I was like, oh, I'm super interested. They were like, okay, like we'll like let you know. And I think they already had chosen their girls and they were just being nice. But they did let me go to Vegas with them, which was super
Hell
exciting.
yeah.
And they have so many other events coming up, so hopefully I'll be able to go because they were just like so wonderful to work with. Everyone's so nice. The other girls are amazing, and yeah, I've made so many friends. So,
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, next year, Miami's some week now.
Definitely.
I'm like infiltrating my way into it.
Yeah, it's a process. It takes time finding the right connections.
Exactly.
I'm so happy to hear that. A big thing when I started, there were a lot of different avenues.
Yes.
And if you didn't know which way to go, you end up in some bad positions.
Well, that's how I didn't know which way to go at first. Yeah. So I'm happy I like figured it out, but like definitely yeah, I wasn't sure which way I was gonna go at first, and it's confusing at first. Like
it's a lot,
and there's so many people. They're like, oh, you can do this and make money, or oh, you can, and like they kind of confuse you, and then like you don't know any better, and so
for sure. Yeah, I always tell people something that helped me a lot. I had a mentor. Her name is Katerina. Her Instagram is like the professional traveler, and she has like 400,000 followers or whatever.
I've like seen her. I've seen her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
she's great.
She seems awesome.
Yeah, she's so cool. She launched a course during quarantine, and I was like new to Instagram. My account had gone from 6K to 18K in 2 weeks.
Wait, really? Because I'm at 6K, and I would love to be at 10K. Okay, I'll have to like hit her up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was around that time. Several things happened for me that kind of took my social media off. I took her course because I was like, I want to do this and I need to learn how. And she had just launched her course, and I actually was like, I won the competition she had as like the best student or whatever.
I love that. Okay.
So I got to meet with her like one-on-one through a Zoom, and she got to give me like strategies and stuff. But also I had been in an acro yoga community of influencers, and we all took a trip to Zion and got like a big mansion. Cool. So they were all posting me as I was learning how to like make my content fit right, and my social media took off.
Well, then you learn so much from them too, because even going to the Maxim thing, all the girls had like little like the lights and like they put the light like on the back of their phone. I'm like, oh, this is why your stories look so much better than mine because you have a light, like a little portable light. So like,
there's a whole system.
It's awesome though. I love it. I'm like learning so much. So that's awesome that you got to like learn from all of that.
Definitely. Yeah, taking it's like it's kind of funny, but it's true. Like taking Instagram courses, it's a real thing because it is a business.
It's a real business. So many people it's their whole career. So
yeah, you can really make money off of it. But yeah, like even when I started, like I had a lot of pitfalls that really shaped my career, not in all the ways I would have liked.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed and happy, but I was telling someone my reputation was actually really bad. And it wasn't until I signed with Playboy that my whole image got shifted and everyone was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And I'm like, okay, well, a year ago you were calling me a host.
What's hard is like any online community, it's like you're like being made fun of until it works.
Yeah,
and it's you need the right person to kind of like be behind you. Then the minute that they're behind you, it's like, oh well, now we like respect her, and it's like I'm doing the same thing I was doing before.
Yeah, it's like okay. But it's a big thing to remember, like, you gotta just, like, let the comments go. Like, sometimes I just don't even read comments. And you just have to be so sure and, like, who you are and what you want. Even social media aside, it's, like, keeping that determination and that tenacity and that, like, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, I'm learning. I think the reason all this stuff is taking me so long is just like a blessing in disguise because, 3 years ago, like if someone said something mean to me, it would ruin the whole month. I wanted everyone to love me. And like I could not handle criticism. Now with the Pilates studio, like I get different people telling me the same like bad idea over and over again. Or like, why don't you do this? Why haven't you? And I'm just like, now I'm like, okay, to smile and nod and like kind of let it roll off. Or like, even on my TikTok now, I'm getting my microblading removed, but it's darker right now because it's like it's in the removal process. I have to like really fill it in. It's patchy. And like there's multiple comments where it's like, your eyebrows are too dark. And I'm like, I know, like they're being removed. I'm like, I just can't even like, but like 3 years ago, I would have been like freaking out. Now I'm like, they are dark. They're going to be lighter in like 3 months when it's a tattoo. Like I have to, it's a process. So whatever.
Truly. Well, and it's funny. Part of the reason I made maybe not so much the podcast, but I mentioned this in my last episode, so I'm slowly starting to share. It's a little bit early. So I have kind of started this TV show, and it's going to be about like developing this live show that I'm working on right now.
That's so exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. But big part of why I'm kind of, because my whole career has been about my body, and which is great and not great at the same time. Either way, I'm blessed, and I love it.
Like, we need to capitalize on what we can.
I mean, the world's expensive.
It really is.
It's an expensive world, and there are less opportunities for women. I think there's becoming more. And don't get me wrong, I have a business degree. I could have gone the corporate route, but that was just never me.
I was still sexualized in my corporate job, and I feel like no one took me seriously. So it's like, no matter what you do, I think,
it's inevitable. No matter what you do, as a woman, you're going to be sexualized.
Yeah.
Even when we were living on the ship, they have this whole theory that like having women on the ship is like bad luck, which like obviously it's a cruise ship, so there's a lot of women.
There's
so it
a lot of guys.
Yeah,
that's cool that you got to do the cruise ship thing. That's
so really cool. Yeah, it was really awesome. But it was crazy because at one point, like there was a woman captain, and she came on the intercom to say something, and you could tell she was crying, and you could hear the men in the background laughing, and they bullied her so bad. It's crazy. It's so crazy. So,
it's every industry too, I feel like.
It's every industry.
It sucks.
Yeah. It's like, it's maybe more public in entertainment, but it's every single industry. Yeah. So big reason why I've started switching my career to more talking things is because now I've been in it. I've been through it. I've been in a lot of situations that I never want other girls to go through, which is why mentoring and opening doors for other girls is so important to me. But I used to get all these terrible comments from people from my hometown when they saw what I was doing.
Yeah.
They're the worst ones.
You can't even,
you can't.
Because you came from the same place as them, but you're more successful and they don't like that. And so
it's like the jealousy or the freedom you have, like I love that I can be naked in front of people, like
that's so empowering. And most people don't have the confidence to do
they
that.
They don't. Yeah. It's like people get so worried, like, oh, what if this photo of me gets out? And I'm like, well, as long as I'm making money on it.
And like, I look good, like whatever. That's so funny.
Yeah. But I think like deep down, I always told myself, one day I'm going to say something. I'm going to respond to all these comments. I'm going to like publish a book, have a podcast, make a movie.
Do all that. That's great, honestly. And you'll be helping so many people too, because a lot of people are just like silenced. So.
Yeah, it's true. And it's one of those things like, like those sexual abuse cases. Like once one person speaks out, more people start speaking out.
Exactly.
And it's the only way to really break the cycle. So I think that's the only way for our society to get better is like if we start shutting it down and start speaking out and start saying, but, my goal with this podcast, and I try to reinforce this over and over, is that it's not a man-hating podcast. I love men. I think they're great.
I feel like I'm not like a guy's girl or a girl's girl. I just whoever's nice. I want to be with you guys. And whoever's mean.
Yeah.
Some of the girls are mean too.
They're judgy. Some girls are like. Sometimes I feel bad for guys, and I'm like,
it's not just them. It's the girls too. So
yeah. It's all about just becoming a better society.
Well, and like I'm like just going the bikini route. Like I thought about it, and because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do at first, and I was like, you know what, I just want to do the bikini route. But even that, like. People like don't like that. People are like saying weird things even just about that, and I'm like, okay,
there's
like,
no winning.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's never going to be any winning, which is why you have to do what is right for you.
Yes, exactly what you're aligned with. Yeah, there's just some people that are determined to misunderstand you, and nothing you can do.
Definitely. What was your experience like in the pharmaceutical world?
This company that I worked for was like very small, and they were the only ones that would like give me the time of day fresh out of college with like no connections, no job experience. I really wanted to move to San Diego, which is what I ended up doing. And so I was just applying to like I graduated December of 2021. So like the market was kind of interesting coming out of COVID. So I have a marketing degree. So like I applied to marketing jobs, PR, pharmaceutical sales, like all different kinds of sales. And that was just the first one that said yes. It was like, just really not for me. I'm sure if I would have there's people who worked with me and then they got their year or two of experience there and then ended up going on to bigger companies that are just so amazing and they're so happy and that's awesome. And I'm so happy for them. But I got laid off, and then I applied to every job under the sun and nobody wanted me. And I really wanted to do like, the company that I worked for, we had like a pretty big portfolio of like medical aesthetics, but also like wound care, radiation oncology. And I knew I wanted to do like aesthetics if I stayed in that. And it's funny because I applied to like Botox, Juvederm, like all like that so many times, like all the Allergan brands, and I never even got an interview. And then they had an open casting call for like a campaign, and out of like 12,000 people, they chose me and like 10 other people.
Wow.
So I'm like, I think I was just like, that was kind of like a sign from God, like, okay, I'm meant to do something creative. And then that was like right around the time I went to the Playboy casting, because I was like just trying to figure out like what to do. And I really think like going the creative route and not the corporate route is what I'm meant to do. But that's not to shade anybody in corporate. Like there's so many people that are thriving. I just didn't have that same experience. But like, if that would have been my path, I would have been so happy. It probably would have been like a little bit easier, maybe like less like, you know, judgment from people in like my hometown, or like not even, honestly, my hometown people have been pretty good. A lot of people from my high school are like very supportive and awesome. It's just like the random people that are like have something to say, and I'm like, okay, I met you 6 years ago. Like, calm down. So,
yeah, for sure. Crazy. And how's the process been with like getting your business up and going?
It's been, I just like didn't even know where to start. And I'm like, well, I know how to teach, and I have like some marketing background, but really only from school, because I never like, I did pharmaceutical sales, I didn't do marketing. So it would have been like more helpful if I would have had a marketing job and kind of like learned how to market a brand. So I ended up hiring this company to like help with like event planning, web design, and like the branding. And it just like didn't work out with them. I ended up like spending money, and then like they didn't really deliver anything. So I had to like end the contract early, and that was a whole nightmare. And actually Anessa, who I met at the Playboy casting, like really helped me through that. She was like, this is good that you're learning this now before it, you know, it sucked, but it was something I had to go through. So then that kind of set me back. But then another girl that I met on TikTok, she was like, I've loved watching your journey, trying to start the studio. She was like, I do freelance web design and branding. Like, I would love to be a part of it. And I was like, well, I already like wasted money on the other things. Like, I can't pay you, but if you need it for your portfolio, like I would absolutely love to work with you. And so she gave me more in 1 week than the other company did in like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been amazing. I mean, she's prioritizing her paying clients as she should. So I'm not sure like how long it will take, but she's just been like such a blessing. It's been just so easy, and everything's just falling into place. And then the events, I did a photo shoot in the spring for the studio, and one of the girls, she has her own yoga mat company, and she's been doing so many events.
Oh my
God. Yeah, she's like killing it. She let us use the mats for the shoot. And I've been meaning to talk to her about like events, because she's just doing so good. She's down in San Diego. And then I worked at Body Rock in Santa Monica, like right before I left to start my own thing. And so a lot of the girls from there like have been trying to do their own thing too, and like been super supportive. And there's a few in particular that have like reached out to help in different capacities. So they've been great. It's taking like a whole village. And then also I was in a business fraternity in college, which is like so nerdy, but a lot of them reached out to like, I am so grateful for them. They're like, I can help you like write a pitch deck to investors. And I can
oh my God.
I'm like, thank God, because that's like so foreign to me. I'm definitely more like on the creative marketing side rather than like the analytical, like that, but you need both. So I'm really trying to focus on like the branding and the events first, and then like make sure it's what I want to do, and then like pitch to investors, get the studio space, and go from there. So
yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking so fast. No. We're gonna like in the editing, like slow it down somehow.
You're good. I love it. I wanted to ask too. So I had my own business at one point also. I actually was running like an underground club at one point.
Wait, like during COVID?
Yes. No, it was actually before COVID.
Oh, because I went to one of those like during COVID. It was so silly. It was like,
really
like a real life speakeasy. I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, ours was definitely illegal.
That's okay. I think ours was too, because it was like during lockdown. I was like, okay. It was fun.
Yeah, we had like a garage, like a body shop garage for cars.
That's so
and it was like 3 stories. And it was like everyone from the Rainbow Bar and Grill would come over. And so it was like, you know, these 50, 60-year-old men who were just super rock and roll. Like I'm talking like red spiked up mohawk, whole face covered in white. Yeah, Ron Jeremy, the porn star who's now ancient and I think in jail. Oh, no. He was like one of our, like he would come all the time. Yeah.
That's so funny.
And like I would run my own shows. So I would hire girls to perform, and we would do fire shows, aerial shows.
cool.
Like, it was wild. It was so much fun. But it was interesting being like a woman running my own business because, you know, these were like really misogynistic men and just, they were old and just like, and they had, I guess, had the club open before I came around. And at that point, they had hookers there.
Okay.
So when we came back, they were like, oh, the hookers. And I was like, no.
Actually, no. Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
No.
So I remember I would come in and I would have a show before at Petit Hermitage and it's very classy.
I know exactly where that
okay,
is.
cool. Yeah.
So funny.
It's very fancy.
Yes.
So I'd come in with like a fur coat, like a gown, like just like diamond necklace, and I'd walk in, change into my little tiny shorts and fishnets. And I just remember like the moment I knew I had made a change. There were two moments. One was some guy, we would let them tip us on our bodies. So just like slide it into like our sides or whatever, or in our boots or whatever, because we were up on platforms. But I remember one guy tried to like slide it into one of my girls' like, you know.
I could see how they get too drunk and too comfortable.
Too excited.
It's so gross,
And I just remember being on the platform, stepping up to him with my little like Doc Martens. They were all beat up. And I like squat down in front of him. He's like a 6'4" guy. But at this point, I'm taller than him because I'm on the platform.
On the stage. Yeah, you're like, now I'm taller.
But I like get down in his face and I'm like, you don't ever fucking do that again or I'm getting you kicked out of here. And he kind of laughed at me and I looked at security and security was ready to just like throw him out of there.
Security is there to like, I always wonder about like the bottle girls in Vegas because they must put up with so much. And Anessa, the girl from the Playboy casting, she was like, I did like the pool bottle girl in Vegas one year and she was like, security does not mess around. Like if anyone's creepy, like they will. And I'm like, that's good. At least that you have that.
If you have good security.
But I feel like Vegas does better than LA. Like with, I don't know.
LA is pretty good, honestly. So? Okay. I mean, in that situation, it wasn't a legal place. So like in the legal clubs, like, you know, I'm in thongs all the time, never a problem because security is like on top of it.
Okay, that's good.
That place is different, but because I had like set such a strong precedent, and two, because I, you know, it was always like, it was 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So I was in a bad mood every time I went.
It's just so late,
It's so late. So I'd always come in and I'd be like, don't fuck with me.
Yes, but you kind of have to like set that tone from the start. Or
you have
they
to.
Think they can get away with way more.
Yeah. And once I set that tone with like the people that I worked with directly, it trickled down.
Yeah.
And so then I remember the time I really knew I'd made the change is one time I came in and everyone was opening the door for me. They're like, welcome, Melissa. Like, so great to see you.
You're like, that's right.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
And then we had one person who tried to make a comment to a girl or something. And I just remember a bunch of guys who came regularly, just all came around and they're like, they're not strippers. Don't you dare treat, even if they were strippers.
Yeah, still,
like,
no, literally.
They were just so quick to be like, you don't talk to them like that. You don't treat them like that. And I was like, and I was so proud.
Yeah, you're like, I've done something right.
Yeah, that was like one of my biggest accomplishments. Not even like the show or the club.
No, it's hard. Like that's hard to do.
It is. But it was really cool to see these men who were just like rough and burly and stuff, and to be like, no, like these are like the women that work here and we protect them.
Yes. I love that.
It was really, really cool.
Oh my gosh. No, thankfully, like as far as the Pilates studio goes, it should just be the other like Pilates girlies and their boyfriends and like, you know, but with the bikini stuff, it's all that. So and even just social media in general, like it's tough.
Yeah, I am curious to know. I love working with Maxim and the people that I sent you to, all like great people to work with. Like you're gonna be safe.
Yeah.
I had an interesting experience when I did Maxim in Vegas and we went to see, I want to say Zed, which was really, really cool. But I noticed I was probably the young one, at least one of the youngest ones there, because I think I was 28 when I first went with them. And I actually really struggled on that trip. And the reason why was because I saw a lot of these women who were older than me, who I felt struggled finding love. We're all, playing into the game, the sugar baby game. And it was really hard for me to watch because I'm like a lover girl that wants to have a family.
Same.
And so seeing that was like a big wake up call for me of like, I don't want to be 40
yes
and like playing this game.
It's so hard with like Maxim because it's such a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And I see the same thing. And it's like, I don't want to end up there. I will say, like, my ex, we're not together anymore, but like, he was always very supportive of everything.
That's
and
great.
I think if they like really do love you and they're secure in themselves, like they, I went to, so obviously I was in Vegas with Maxim, but I went like a few days before with friends. And one of the guys there was like the one that I was like hanging out with the most. He was like, yeah, she's working with Maxim. Like he said it, like he never even brought the Pilates studio. He never brought up like me trying to do social media, like all these other things. He just like kept saying it. So like he was like so proud of it. And I'm like, I think the guys that are like actually like just like you and are secure in themselves, like are okay with it. But it's still like such a fine line to walk. And that's kind of like what I'm dealing with now. Cause like I want to be empowering and I want to be sexy, but like I also like want to have the studio and I want to be taken seriously. And it's such like it's a hard, I mean, I'm still like trying to figure it out. So
it is a very hard line to balance. And I think that's kind of one of the like unfortunate misconceptions is that it's the age old idea of you're either smart and a nerd or you're pretty and dumb.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, it's not an on and off switch. It's like a dimmer switch. Like there's people that are nerdy and really stupid. So like, like socially, I don't know. I probably sound like I'm saying that. But,
well, and there's also beautiful women who are really smart.
Yeah, exactly.
A point that I had to make to one of my friends who she's a very empowered woman herself, but she is not in the modeling OnlyFans. She is a dancer, but she's more like hip hop and less like not a burlesque dancer, you know. But we got into a really heated debate, loving debate, but really heated debate because she was telling me how like, you know, we are losing women in industries that we need because they are now going to OnlyFans and making money. And so now everyone's just selling their body. And now we're not getting women in the workforce and you leave OnlyFans with no skills. And I was like, I got so upset.
I think people think that everyone's leaving corporate and going online, but I think there's a lot of people that just want to be in corporate. Like,
there are.
I think people think that everyone's just going on to OnlyFans. Because
you
like,
see it more. But there's not that many.
Yeah, exactly. And that's.
And I had to make the point to her too. Like, you don't just jump onto OnlyFans or something and become a millionaire. It doesn't work like that.
Because then you're just naked on the internet. Like, you don't have a following. Nobody cares yet. That's why, like, people that already have a name are making a lot of money or like they worked for that.
It's a full business too.
Exactly.
Like even with my OnlyFans, I have an entire team that helps me run mine, and it's not really it's not at all a one person job. There's so much that goes into it.
Why did you make it look easy so then everyone just assumes it's easy and it's like no. Well, even with the Pilates studio, people are like, well, it's not like that much work, right? And I'm like it's
a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So like with OnlyFans, and even like because I'm not doing OnlyFans or like the Playboy Creator Club. I decided not to do that, but like even trying to build my own Instagram and TikTok, like it is so much work.
So much work,
and it's harder than just like making like silly little videos. It's like, you need to have a hook. You need to like provide value. You need to, you know, it's so many different things go into it, and then. It is so saturated that like how do you set yourself apart? And it's a lot of work goes into it. And so like OnlyFans, it's the same. Like it's just like that. You have to like really work for it. And it's a whole team. Like it's a production. So.
It really is. And as you know, a person doing any of these OnlyFans, social media, Instagram, Playboy, whatever, you're learning. You're learning marketing, you're learning business, you're learning negotiation, like you're learning sales, you're learning all these different skills
100%.
that are very helpful and like and do teach you things like, you know, I actually feel that if I were to go into the corporate world, there's a lot. I mean, I don't know if anybody would hire me because of my public persona, but there's a lot that I do know.
Either though, like even just like out of college with like just a college degree, like
I mean,
it's like it's hard. I don't know. It's the job market's so shitty. So
it's crazy. It's funny because my dad actually asked me recently if I would like he always checks in like, you know, so are you thinking about going to corporate? You know, you still got the degree, like. And I finally just said to him, I was like, I will never go back into corporate ever.
You should like keep going the entrepreneur route. I feel like, well, so many people I think leave corporate and do that in no matter what space they're in, and that's where they find the success. It's not working for someone else. Like doing the cold calls. Like, oh my gosh, if I'd make another cold call again, like, no.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and the wild thing to me is that all it takes is a recession, which I'm pretty sure we're already in.
I think,
and then like you get laid off like that. You give your entire life, 40 hours a week to a company, and then you're like, oh, like that.
Oh, I didn't even get severance. They were just like, bye.
Wow.
I was like, okay. Because they were smaller. Like, I'm sure if it was like a bigger company, it would have been more. But like, like I felt like I was there, like 40 hours a week, and then it just like was over. And I'm like, okay, so now what?
Well, and the beautiful thing about being an artist or an entrepreneur is that you've been in the struggle, hustle mentality mode for so long that nothing really phases you because you're already there all the time. But it makes it easier that like when things fall apart, when the economy falls apart, you're like, okay, well, I've already been here. I'm already here all the time. Like, which isn't great living in that state of panic all the time.
But I think like there's so many things online where it's like, oh, if you were like the millionaires that like they could lose it all and then like get it back.
Rebuild
like they
overnight.
Know how to. It's like a formula and it's a mindset.
Exactly.
And
it is.
So
and I feel like it's so much worse to kind of almost be spoiled in a really sucky way in corporate where you're just always comfortable and then something happens and you're like, I have no idea what to do because you've gotten so used to just not having to worry about it.
No, exactly.
And you're not even doing what you love either.
That's the biggest thing is like I have a few friends that are so unhappy with their jobs and they're getting paid a lot of money, but they don't even have the time to like enjoy the money. I'm like, when do you get to go on vacation in like 10 years? Like, I don't know. They just don't seem happy. I'm like, I'd rather just have less money and like be happy.
Be able to live your life.
And I think eventually the money will follow. Like if you're doing what you love and like, I think you have to start off like at the bottom, but like if you once you build yourself up, like it follows, I think at least. So
it does. It does. I always tell people that like if you are 100% confident in yourself, there's no way you're gonna fail. Like you're always gonna make it.
Or fall down, get back up, and
definitely. It's very true. I mean, that's how I have this. Like this is my dream home.
I love the walk. Again,
thank you.
So nice. I love it.
I love living here.
It's such like a central place too. Everything's around.
Perfect.
That's so nice.
It's the first place where I've like signed multiple leases because I'm just happy here.
Well, you know, it's been so crazy. So I went to Pepperdine's. It's in Malibu, and I lived like in Malibu like most of the time that I was there, but then my senior year I moved to Santa Monica and just like commuted. And I love my Santa Monica apartment so much. It was so beautiful. And then I moved to San Diego to do pharmaceutical sales. And then now I'm back. And I'm actually back in the same apartment in the same unit that I was in college in Santa Monica. And I'm like, I will stay here until I buy a house with my husband, which Lord knows how long that will be, maybe like 10 more years. I'm so happy there. Like I love it so much. But it's the only apartment, like every other apartment I've like had issues or just not really loved it. But that apartment, I'm like, so happy there. So I get it. When you find one that you really like, it's like, stay in it. It's,
this is home.
This is amazing.
So is all your time and attention going into the Pilates business right now, or?
I had like a conversation with myself the other day because I was like, okay, I need to like really lock in because this is taking longer than I wanted it to, but I need to really lock in and figure out like why is it taking so long? What can I do to make this faster and like make decisions more effectively or efficiently. And I was like, okay, I think I'm trying to lock in on like social media and Pilates. And I think I need to pick one because I think I want them both to be successful. So it's hard because I want to give my time to both. But I think if I just focus on one, then I can make the one successful and then make the other, you know? And I was like, well, if I do the social media, then I can brand myself like in the fitness space, which is what I wanted to do anyway. And then like once I have a following there, hopefully women in LA, like specifically, then I can kind of like launch the Pilates studio again. And then I'll already have that following that like knows me and trusts me and like would be more excited about it rather than just like launching a random Pilates studio. Nobody even knows me. Cause I mean like my dream is to have a studio with 2 rooms. So like one room to have the X Former machine and the other room, like the mat studio to do like mat Pilates or yoga sculpt or even like whatever the next big fitness trend is, like having that room that's just like a studio space. You can kind of like go with the times. So I'm like, that kind of sets me apart because I feel like a lot of studios, like it's Soul Cycle, so it's just spinning or it's just Pilates. But another thing that would set me apart is like literally me and like my personality and like what I can bring to the table. But like if I don't start social media, like nobody will even know that I'm here. So I'm trying to lock in on social media, but it's just like I do get really overwhelmed. And then the imposter syndrome, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm such a loser. I should just go home. And then it's like the next day I'm like, no, like I got this. It just like it changes. So like I don't know. I'm really trying to just lock in and not let the negative thoughts get to me, because I know if I just like keep grinding, it'll all be okay. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, but it's tough.
Yeah, it is hard. Well, TikTok is definitely, I believe, like one of the most powerful tools for businesses.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so effective. And I really love this. I've seen some like dentist offices and like construction
and
companies.
the plastic surgeons, they're all on there.
Yeah. And they're doing these little trends, but it's true. I watch these trends and I'm like, oh, I want to go get my teeth cleaned there.
Exactly. No, that's how I find like restaurants. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, it seems silly, but it's effective.
No, it really is. You can reach like, and it's a more targeted audience than just like putting up a billboard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you really, it's, building a fan base and like creating hype goes a long way. So, so my business that I had, it was, an entertainment company. We had 4 shows a week and then quarantine happened. And even our illegal club did have to shut down. I at first was like, oh, we're going to be good. We're already illegal. What's the issue? But, once you get into like a world health phenomenon, like, then it's like, this is beyond that at this point. But so when we shut that down, I was like, well, I have this LLC. Am I going to end my business? So then what I did was I moved into creating my own bikini line. And
that is like such a dream.
Really?
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah.
So cool.
I did. And like you, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes. I spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the process. And now I've learned, like, should I ever do this again? There's so much that I know now that if I'd never done it in the first time, it wouldn't have been great.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of sucks is I did get into a lot of debt because I invested so much.
That's what I'm trying to like. I'm happy I ended that contract with that one company because I paid like some of the money up front, but not all of it.
Okay.
And then so I didn't lose like that much. And then I'm also like, I want to start with events first, because the events like don't cost that much money to like either do it on the beach and get the permit, or like rent like a, what's it called, Peer Space studio to like whatever. And so I'm like, I can do that like cheaply and like sell tickets and like not cheaply, but like I can do it for like a smart amount of money and like sell tickets and like either break even or make like a little bit of profit, and then like make sure that it's what I want to do before getting investors to sign a lease.
Yeah.
That's like, a year long. And then, if it fails, I'm going to feel like worse about myself. I don't know. So I'm like, I want to like do the events definitely and like let it run its course and make sure before I actually send the studio space. Because I'm like, maybe it turns into like an athleisure line. Maybe it turns into like something different that like I didn't see. Like I thought it would be a studio, but now it's something else. So I just like really want to like make sure that it's what I want before I like full send. But
definitely.
I mean, I already kind of made like a mistake with that branding, So
it happens. It happens. Something that's really encouraged me, and we have an episode on this, Hannah's episode, I think it's like episode 5 probably. No, 7, I don't know, one of our episodes. Because I was so discouraged. I was like, oh my God, like I'm almost 30 and like, I'm in debt and one of my businesses it's not that they didn't work, but it was just, there was so much more to it that I couldn't sustain it.
Yeah.
But something that I learned, and I'm a big believer of, is it's okay to spend money. It's okay to get in debt. It's okay to learn and to put yourself out there, because that's the only way to learn.
It honestly is the only way. And it sucks, but failure's literally the only way to learn.
Yeah.
You have to pivot and
And as long as I think by 30, if you like restructure yourself and you start focusing,
But I want to walk in now, because like before I like when I was laid off just teaching Pilates, before I even like had any direction, I was just drinking all the time, like partying with friends. And so then I was just like teaching Pilates, super bloated, like didn't even have a good body because I was so bloated from all the drinking. I was so directionless. I was so like, so now I'm like, I at least can't be that girl. Like I need to like walk in and at least try the Pilates studio. And if that fails, I'll pivot to the next thing. But I'm like, I can't just be like in the bar or like drinking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, just
going nowhere.
focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get that. I'm like trying to lock
Definitely.
in before 30 and
Yeah. But as long as like at 30 you're like, okay, this is
Mhm.
what I'm doing and I'm good now. And Hannah's
Mhm.
episode is so great because
Mhm.
she breaks down like how to have like a really successful savings
Mhm.
going on.
I know. I'm like, I need to learn more about that.
You should watch the episode.
Yeah,
It's
I
a great
will.
episode. Yeah. She helped me a lot. So I
Mhm.
restructured my finances based off of the information she gave me.
Mhm.
And this is like probably the first time where as a freelance artist who's
Mhm.
literally like not contracted or like by anybody,
Mhm.
I feel so much more comfortable with my
Mhm.
finances.
Yeah.
Because especially as an entrepreneur or artist,
Mhm.
you are always, this is
It's
always going to
not
be your
or
income.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
The
it's
high
always
highs
like,
and the low
well, because
lows.
you need to like when you do get a contract for something that's really big, you
Uh-huh.
can't just like run out and spend it
Yeah,
all
you
because it's like,
can't.
well, next month could be really low, and the month
Yeah,
after that could be really low, So
definitely.
yeah, it's good to like understand how to structure all that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was when, again, I was 28. So again, you should feel good. You have time.
Okay. Thank you.
I moved to Miami 27. I was
Mhm.
27
Okay.
actually. I moved to Miami and I started making, I had never seen so much money in my life. I
Mhm.
started making stupid money
Mhm.
and I spent it all.
It's really easy to because you see that number and you've never seen it before, and you're
Yeah,
like, "Oh my gosh, I'm rich," and then you forget how
yeah,
much rent costs and like the
yeah,
basic like
yeah,
things that you have to like pay to survive end up like costing half of that, and then
yeah,
you book like a trip or something, and then it's like the
yeah.
rest of it's gone, and you're like, "Oh
Yeah,
no."
I had like
So,
a 2 bedroom apartment, luxury apartment on the 20th
mm,
floor, but I was traveling every month.
mhm.
And then when I was bored, I would go shopping and buy $400 dresses.
Yes, I know so many of the designers that
It
are
was,
involved that I love. I'm like, it's so cute, and I'm like, no, I
yeah, it's
can't do it. Well, that's
terrible decision.
there's this one design. I'm probably not saying her last name right, but
Uh-huh.
Amanda Uprichard. All of her designs are so cute, but they're all like $150. And then her sizing is kind of weird. So even like the small sizes are big on me. So I have to go get them tailored for like even more. So it ends up being so
Oh,
expensive. And
yeah.
finally today, like I had it in my cart and I was like, this is like a $300 skirt. Like you don't need it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
okay. Like back away. Like yeah,
Definitely.
like maybe someday, she'll like, have like a PR moment with me. But so I've been trying to post on like to know it too.
Uh-huh.
But it's so tough, like going back to social media. Like I'm into fashion and fitness and like I live like in Santa Monica. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I think the lifestyle is like interesting. And it's not like I'm
for
working a
sure.
corporate job in Wisconsin, not any hate to that, but like it's just like my life is a little bit more like exciting on the internet, I guess.
Mm.
And so I'm like, well, I want to do like fashion, fitness, lifestyle. And then I feel like I'm too like I think I need to like niche down and like lock into one because I think I'm
Yeah.
like trying to do too many things at once and like,
Yeah.
like, oh, post fashion content and like, try to get like fashion, like gifting opportunities and then try to like, be the like to know it girl and then also try to do like the fitness stuff. Like it's just, I'm really trying to like not do too many things. But then it's
Yeah.
the advice on TikTok, like some people say niche down, some people say do it all and see what's, I don't know. It's all like contradicting itself, I feel like. So
Yeah. I would
it's
say
tough.
like as somebody who's done it and kind of sorted it out for myself,
Mm-hmm.
I think as a person, you want to try everything.
Yeah.
I think for like social media branding,
Mm-hmm.
having a niche is the best way to
That's such a
go.
good point. Yeah.
But I think for you and this is like for example, I've talked about this recently with somebody, but like I haven't posted my podcast on my personal page at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in line with my brand enough,
Mm-hmm.
and also I just want to see how it does on its own,
Mm-hmm.
because it's also it's pretty different from what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could always like it's your personal Instagram page. If you want to do
Yes.
27 different things,
Mm-hmm.
you can,
Mm-hmm.
and then should you decide you want a business account to
Mm-hmm.
focus on your one Pilates business or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, or a fitness account or whatever,
True.
you could
That's so
always start
true.
another account.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, majority of people who have like really big followings have multiple accounts
I've noticed
anyways.
that. It's just been
Yeah.
so hard to grow my personal one. I've been stuck at like the 6,800 for like a year or two, I think. So I'm like, I don't really want to start like a fitness one that has like 200 followers. And like, I had to make one for my studio. So I'm like, I might just try to, I don't even, yeah, it's so hard. There's so many things. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Well, and
But
two, once you learn the formula,
yes, yeah.
then it becomes
Then it's copy
easier.
and paste. I think it's
Yeah.
starting off right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And your trick to really getting them to pop off, like collabs are huge.
Yes.
You know, working with people. If like, should you start a brand new fitness page, you want to be working with other creators who have fitness pages, being in those spaces, being in those communities. That's like how my page popped off was I was in an acro yoga community. That's also why my page is not growing anymore, because I went separate ways and that was my whole brand. So now I have to rebrand, but also because like it's not my big priority, I just have other accounts now that are more what I'm focused on for my business versus like my personal page.
That's honestly good.
Yeah.
That's good advice too. I'm like, okay, I'll remember all that when I'm freaking out later.
It's overwhelming. And I remember always being like, how, like, I'm not just one thing. How am I supposed to be one thing on the internet?
Yeah, that's what I struggle with for sure. So.
But you also don't have to. And like, and kind of releasing that pressure off of yourself, knowing you can start a new page. Because, you know, you could start a fitness page tonight, get into the right circles, and within like 3 months have more success than you've ever had on your personal page.
Honestly so true. I need to like, I think I get so negative sometimes. I'm like, well, it would never work. But then like what you just said, well, it could be like really successful.
Definitely. So, it's finding your formula, and again, the trial and error, figuring out how to create the content that will be successful. And remembering too that your personal page already has tapped into too many parts of the algorithm. So it doesn't know which way you want to go either.
I think I've confused the algorithm so much on Instagram and TikTok.
And that's okay too. Like, you know, it's all a learning process.
Yeah, so it totally is. Also, I want to hear more about the TV show. I think like you said something and then I just went on this like whole tangent, but I want to get back to the TV show.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, we haven't, I've been thinking about this because now that I'm really diving into it, I'm getting excited. And I want to post the trailer because the trailer's so cool. And we filmed it a year ago. But until we kind of get more of the episodes filmed, I'm not going to release it. And I'm aiming for January 1st of next year. But we have had to rewrite it so many times.
No, you're smart, because I wish I wouldn't have launched my Pilates studio publicly until I had it more together, because now I have people from like every aspect of my life being like, so is it open yet? And I'm like, it probably won't be until like January. And then it's like, it's just kind of embarrassing that I like launched it so soon. So I'm like, you're smart to, take it easy and just wait.
Yeah. But hype is a really like important thing. And it's hard because as you're doing it, and like, even I was in 2 movies recently, and I want to talk about them.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Exciting. Oh my gosh.
It's very cool.
It's so cool.
Incredible. But even I brought it up on the last one also. Like I cannot wait till they're released so I can talk about my experience on set, because it was insane.
Oh my gosh.
But obviously I signed an NDA, so
we won't talk about that. But
I actually cannot talk about it.
That's okay.
But yeah, the TV show has been interesting. We filmed episode 1 about a month ago and had a conversation last week and decided we're trashing the whole thing. And so I rewrote the whole thing. And we're gonna still play with it to use it as our tester. But
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
What's the premise of it?
So we've gone through several different things.
That's how anything. You're actually making me feel better about the Pilates studio, because I'm like, I've gone through so many okay.
It's a trial and error thing. And the more you understand that, the easier it gets, and you learn to just refine. You know, it's okay to throw out the whole thing and start over.
Well, really quick, the girls who own Boys Lie, like the clothing brand, they started off as makeup. And then it failed, and now they're like really successful with the clothing brand. So like
exactly, that's how it goes. And the quicker you kind of just learn that's how it goes, the easier it becomes, and the quicker you get there.
Like they didn't just stop; they just kept going and pivoted. And they found success.
Exactly.
So, sorry, back to
no, you're good.
I just
it's
I
all
feel
good.
like it's so hard. That's why I'm like, I'm happy we set the timer, because I will like go on 12 different tangents, and then we finally come back to
this is what girls' conversations are like.
I know, that's why I could be here for like 3 hours. I need to like set the timer. The car is up the meter. I need to
We're good.
Yes. So what's the premise?
So the route we're going, and this is how the trailer was set up too, is that it's going to be about me creating this live show. So the tricky part that we've been dealing with is that initially we were like, okay, we'll just film everything that we do, and like there it is. And so when we filmed the first episode, because we also had the thought of, it's about my life, the life of a traveling burlesque circus performer. And so we had the thought that he would just go with me to all these gigs and all these, see everything that happens. Yeah. But the thing is, when you're living real life, it doesn't happen in movie format, So I rewrote everything based off of what actually has happened. Alexa, off.
She's like, you guys gotta go.
She's like, and time. No, we have more time.
So they were gonna follow you around, and then
so it was too hard. And then the tricky part we've had is that the first episode that we initially filmed was at one of my shows, and it was very dramatic, and there was a lot that happened, and there was a part where I almost lost my shit, and he could tell, but he also knew that like talking to me would take me out of the flow, that I needed to still work and do a live show. And then two, I had a point where I was like, well, I could say what was going through my mind, but I also don't want to get fired. Like, this is my job. So we decided like, okay, filming in real time is not good because I'm actually working a real job. And so now what we've done instead is we're rewriting from what happened a year before to get up to this point, and we'll continue writing based off of what continues happening. So now we're writing it of me rewriting what already happened, but in movie format, and then reenacting it.
That's actually like way smarter because you already have like what happened, and then now you can just like do it kind of stress free. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because doing it in real time is way too challenging.
There's too many outside forces to that's gonna be a lot better. I'm excited for you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
It's a big project,
exciting.
But it's gonna be worth it.
It's huge, but I've already written the live show, and so we're in the choreography creation stage.
So exciting. A live show would be so cool.
It's gonna be really, really dope.
And you're already a performer, so you're already used to that. Like, you're already in that space, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and thankfully, and that's where it really is all about the steps and progressions. Like, because I had the show that was in the underground club and everything, and that was dope. but it wasn't like it could only really go so far. Whereas now, being an established performer, having already traveled around the world, taking a break off, where I was like, I'm not going to start any project. I'm just going to work for people and just take it easy. It was a nice break. And then once I got bored, and I was like, well, these are cool shows, but I want something that's mine. But now I have a whole audience. I have a whole fan base. I have all the connections. So like even the venue that has already agreed to doing my show, I'm like, hey, it's going to take a couple years. Don't expect me to have a show tomorrow. And they're like, cool.
You're probably used to that. Like, I think you and I and everyone, I think we have like really unrealistic timelines. And it's like, oh, I have this great idea. In 6 months, it'll be like, this whole big thing. And then it's like, well, no, like it actually takes way longer.
It takes a long time.
And they probably know that, because I'm sure that's how the same timeline for everyone else.
But, definitely. And that's the great thing when people know you and believe in you already and have seen how far you've come, is like they know. I remember when I started, I would always enter rooms being the underdog always. But I always knew in my head that I was going to make it further than everyone in the room.
People like an underdog. They like that story. Like when you come higher.
And so now at this point, like I've made it to a point where people just know, like, oh, she's going to do whatever she sets her mind to.
But that's like, it's cooler to see the underdog figure it out and like win, rather than someone where it's just like handed to them. Or like number one.
It's true.
I don't know sports like at all, but I'm pretty sure Tom Brady was like the same way.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I know nothing.
You might need to cut that. They're like, that was really stupid. I'm pretty sure he was like way back in the day, but fact check that. If I'm not right, cut it. I never said that. But if I'm right, you can put it in.
Got it. Well,
so funny.
Editor can check on that.
He's like, oh my God, this is like 2 hours. Stop.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. But anyways.
It's
really cool that you're doing that.
But I'm excited for you to see your journey. And
you have to have me on in a year, and hopefully I'm much further along and much more collected.
I thought about it, and I was like, I kind of want to bring on somebody who's new to the industry too. Because then it gives us a chance to watch your journey, but then too, it kind of also, it will be interesting to see this now, where you're the bright-eyed, like hopeful, going after their dream.
I'm gonna be like all pissed off next last year. Like, it was so bad. No, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so great.
Yeah, the amount of wisdom that you'll accumulate between now and then, you know, because this is all the girls that I've brought on have all started here. I was there, you know, that's where we all start. The hopeful, like, I can't wait to one day be there. And so it's kind of cool to have an episode to go back and be like, well, this is where we all started.
Yes. And I also feel like a lot of the times in podcasts, people obviously like interview people who are already successful, as they should. They have like their whole story, but it'll be cool to, just kind of see where I end up and see what happens. And I hope, like, you know, if somebody's younger or like even if they're older and they're just going through like a career change, maybe they can relate to like something that I said. Because it is like, it feels isolating. It feels like everyone else like has everything put together and then you're just like this idiot that like doesn't know what's going on. But I think a lot of everybody, you know, it's peaks and valleys and everyone goes through it.
It's a journey.
So,
it's a journey. And it's good to remember, especially when there are like all these, you know, badass women on here. But like, again, we all started there.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start. So I'm happy. So happy I got to come on.
I'm excited to have you. I'm happy you came on. We'll definitely have to circle back and see where you're at. And like,
yes, in like a year. I'm hopefully somewhere like more successful and like
you got
coherent, but I think I will be. So.
Yeah, you got it. You're already on your way, and it's gonna happen.
Thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on, and we'll see the rest of you in 2 weeks for another episode.
Bye.